for CA Inter has been divided into group 1 and group 2. Means there are some accounting standard which are covered in group 1, there are some accounting standard which are covered in group 2, correct? And there are some accounting standard which are not covered in CA Inter syllabus. Means that will be covered, that will be covered in your CA final syllabus, correct? Understood? So we are going to learn those accounting standard which are into CA Inter. Sir, how many accounting standards are there? There are right now, as per current situation, there are 29 accounting standard. However, there are three more accounting standard: AS30, AS31 and AS32. Means total accounting standard which has been issued, or we can say drafted, are 32. But out of this 32, last three, AS30, AS31 and AS32 are till now not notified under company's accounting standard rules, correct? It means that is not applicable to companies. And if it is not yet notified under company's accounting standard rules, so can I say, of course, if it is not applicable to any companies, so it is not in our syllabus, correct? Understood? So it means we can say that we have how many accounting standard notified? 29 accounting standard. Out of that, two accounting standard has been removed. One is AS8 and one is AS6. These two accounting standard has been deleted. Means 29 में कितना minus हो गया? 2. So how many accounting standard we have? 27. Now out of that 27, some accounting standard we have in group 1, some accounting standard we have in group 2, correct? Now what are that accounting standard? वो कौन सा accounting standard है? वो सब हम धीरे धीरे देख लेंगे, correct? Now from examination point of view, in group 1, the marks which is dedicated to accounting standards is what? 20. 20 marks. Means I will say 20 or more than 20. Sometimes it is of 25 marks also, correct? But I am taking the minimum. 20 marks का coverage तो होता ही है. Similarly, in group 2 also it consists of how many marks? 20 marks. Means in total 40 marks accounting standard covers, correct? Now so in total whatever we are learning, the coverage is 40 marks minimum. I am saying, can I say 40 marks accounting standard coverage? And from my point of view, if you have done it very much carefully, correct, with one revision also, you can easily score more than 35 in this. You can easily score more than 35 in this, correct? Understood? So it means it is very important from examination point of view. Not only from examination point of view, it is very much important. It is very much important for a chartered accountant. For a chartered accountant means, I always say that a chartered accountant without a knowledge of accounting standard is not a chartered accountant, correct? Means any chartered accountant who passed the CA examination without the knowledge of accounting standard are not chartered accountant. Means once you become CA, and when you go for any interview, the first question they will ask from accounting standard only. Means in interview they will check your knowledge through accounting standard only. Means I have seen many students in CA final. Means when I take CA final, the first question I ask from the CA final student ki, have you done accounting standard with full coverage? So many student has either ignore accounting standard in CA Inter, means उन्होंने पढ़ा ही नहीं, or if they have done, they have not done with that efficiency. Correct now. It means they pass CA inter examination without the knowledge of accounting standard. ये हो सकता है because out of 80 marks also it is very easy to score 40 marks in accounts. It's very easy to score 40 marks in accounts. So it might happen you are passing the exam, but what will happen in CA final? What will happen in CA final? In CA final, entire syllabus is based on accounting standard only. Entire syllabus is based on accounting standard, not this accounting standard, the higher version of this, which we call Ind accounting standard. Are you getting what I am saying? Correct? Have you understood? So it is very important from examination point of view, very important from becoming chartered accountant point of view. Correct? So we should have a full knowledge of this. Means I will teach you in depth. मीन्स मैं आपको पूरा अच्छी तरह से पढ़ाऊंगा ताकि यू बिकम एक्सपर्ट इन दिस अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड. करेक्ट. नाउ आफ्टर पासिंग group 1 or group 2, you need to join a CA firm as an article. You need to join a CA firm as an article. Correct. So in that also they will ask you some questions about accounting standard only to have a look that whether you have done accounting standard with proper नॉलेज और नॉट. तो वहां पर भी आपका इंपॉर्टेंट है for selection in a good firm you need to have a good knowledge of accounting standard. Are you able to understand? When you will be doing articleship, there also you will apply accounting standard only. वहां पर भी आपको accounting standard apply करना पड़ेगा. Means after becoming chartered accountant, after passing group 1 or group 2, can I say immediate application of this accounting standard will start in your life. Immediate application of accounting standard will apply in your life. Correct. Understood. So with that also it becomes very important. Correct. So from examination point of view, 40 marks coverage. And not only this, we have a audit subject also. हमारे पास और एक subject है audit. In audit also minimum 10 marks question is asked from accounting standard. Correct. Means if you say audit means verification of financial statement, and financial statement need to be prepared by applying accounting standard only. तो can I say for audit subject also they may ask you accounting standard. तो मैं ये बोलूंगा कि total coverage तो 50 marks का है. Of course, in your audit subject, they will not teach you accounting standard. They will explain you the verification of books of account, which has been prepared based on what? Accounting standard. Correct? It means in audit subject, also there may be some question which are based on accounting standard. Are you able to understand what I am saying? Bolo, correct. Yes, sir. So we'll start group 1 accounting standard. Now, the point of application of accounting standard in India means AS introduction. कौन सा accounting standard है, to which companies these accounting standards are applicable, to which companies these accounting standards are not applicable, that I will do at the end. Means once we complete accounting standard which are related to group 1, then I will start you the application of accounting standard. Because right now whatever I will say, you might not be interested or not interested on that part. Why? Because till now you don't know what actually accounting standard means. Correct. So we'll start accounting standard with what? Accounting standard 1. Correct. So write down. Today we'll start accounting standard 1, AS1. Correct. What is the name of accounting standard 1? It is disclosures of accounting policies. Disclosure of accounting policies. Correct. So the name is disclosure of accounting policies. Correct. It means this AS1, if you understand, key this deals with the disclosure of accounting policies. Disclosure of accounting policy. Now, what are accounting policy that is given in AS1? Correct. Means what is meaning of accounting policy that is given in AS1. But what are the accounting policies for different asset, liability, income and expense that are in different accounting standard. For example, accounting policy for inventories. is covered in AS2, is covered in AS2, correct. Accounting policy for property plant and equipment is covered in AS10, correct. Accounting treatment for accounting policies for intangible asset is covered under AS26, correct now. But their disclosure of accounting policies, disclosure of accounting policies is as per AS1, as per AS1. So what is the meaning of accounting policy? First question is arises this ki actually what is the meaning of AS, what is the meaning of accounting policy? Write down point number 1. Write down accounting policies. So accounting policies, write down accounting policies, write down in the way I am writing, correct, are significant, significant accounting principles and method of applying, method of applying these principles, correct. So these are significant accounting principles and method of applying this principle. Where you apply? Where? In the preparation, in the preparation and presentation of financial statement, financial statement, correct. So accounting policies are significant accounting principle and method of applying these accounting principles, correct. Understood. So sir, what is the meaning of accounting principle? I think you have done accounting principle in CA foundation, so of course you know what are accounting principle. So but what are accounting principle? Accounting principles क्या हुआ? Can I say accounting principle means what? Rules and guidelines, correct. Rules and guidelines. So when I'm saying accounting principles, so these are rules and guidelines for accounting based on which the financial statement will be prepared, based on which financial statement will be prepared, correct. Are you getting what I'm saying? So accounting principles are nothing but rules and guidelines. Are you able to understand? Correct. Now accounting policies are derived, accounting policies are derived which is based on our accounting concepts and convention, accounting concepts and convention. So when I say these are derived, yeah, these are based on based on our accounting concepts, accounting concepts and accounting conventions, accounting conventions. So accounting concepts and conventions are not accounting policy. ध्यान सुनना, accounting concepts and accounting conventions are not accounting policies. Accounting policies are accounting principle which is based on accounting concepts and conventions. Means accounting principles को हम कैसे बनाते? We derive it from our accounting concepts and accounting conventions. So to make you clear, accounting policies are not accounting concepts and conventions. Now you have done accounting concept, you have done accounting conventions. I think you have done many concepts. For example, going concern, historical cost concept, realization concept, accrual concept, consistency, conventions. ये सब आपने किया. Conservatism, materiality, correct ना? Dual concept, correct ना? These are many concepts you have done, correct? तो वो आपको पता. That I am not discussing what is accounting concepts and accounting conventions, because AS1 has not defined accounting concepts and accounting conventions, but accounting principles are derived from our accounting concepts and conventions. इतना समझे, correct? For example, if I take example, so if we discuss about inventory, so inventory, what is the accounting policies? It says that it will be valued, it will be valued at lower of point number A, cost, and point number B, net realizable value. Net realizable value. Understood what I am saying? So it will be valued at lower of cost and net realizable value. Are you able to understand? Correct. So can I say this become accounting policies? इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Accounting policies, and this is our accounting principle. In accounting policy, this become accounting principles for inventory. So this is what accounting principles for accounting principle for valuation of what? For valuation of inventory. Can I say which is based on cost concept, which is based on concept, and cost price or NRV, whichever is lower, is nothing but conservatism. Is nothing but conservatism. Correct now? Means why we have taken lower of cost and NRV? Because of conservatism. Correct now? Because we are conservative in applying what? Accounting policies. In applying accounting policies. Means accounting policy is accounting principles, और accounting principle बनाने के लिए we apply our accounting concepts and accounting conventions. So understand why it is lower? Because we follow conservatism convention. We follow conservatism conventions. ये बात समझे? Cost concept, correct. Now I'm assuming that you know conservatism. Conservatism means what? कि we should recognize all probable expenses, but we should not anticipate any expected income or gain. Correct now? So it means this is based on conservatism. Correct? Understood? So sir, what is the method of applying this principle? If you see so method of applying this principle, method of applying this principle, ये समझना पड़ेगा. Means this is accounting method. So how to determine cost? This determination of cost is based on what? Based on two methods. Point number A, one is known as first in first out method. Second is known as what? Last in first out method. And third is what? Weighted average price method. Correct now? Weighted average price method. So there are many methods to find out the cost price of inventory. I think this also you have done in the inventory chapter of what? CA foundation. First in first out, last in first out, and then weighted average price method. Out of this we do not apply in India. Means last in first out is not applied in India as per AS2. Means this inventory का जो accounting policy is given in AS2. Means this is not mentioned. This accounting policies of inventory is not mentioned, is not described in AS1. AS1 has only defined the meaning of accounting policy and their disclosure requirement. disclosure requirement of accounting policies. Are you getting? So different accounting policy for different assets and liabilities are given in other accounting standard. Other accounting standard. इस बात को समझे? Have you understood? बोलो. Have you understood this point? Respond. Correct? Have you understood? So this much no doubt. Now come to the second point. Write down fundamental fundamental accounting assumptions. Fundamental accounting assumptions. Correct? Understood? Fundamental accounting assumptions. Now you all know there are three fundamental accounting assumptions. Correct? First is what going concern. Second is consistency. Third is what accrual basis. Correct? So how many fundamental accounting assumptions? Point number A, going concerns. Write down going concern. Correct? So what is going concern? Write down in this. The financial statement are prepared on the assumption that an entity is a going concern, is a going concern and continue and continue in operation for the foreseeable future, for the foreseeable future. Correct? Means for entity for the preparation of financial statement, an assumption has been taken that it will it will continue its operation for the foreseeable future, and there is no intention to liquidate. There is no intention to liquidate. Right down. Hence, it is assumed that that the entity has point number A, no intention or need to liquidate, need to liquidate or or cease trading or curtail materially curtail materially the scale of its operation. Correct? Understood? Have you understood? So going concern means what? There is no intention to liquidate. There is no intention to liquidate or cease trading or curtail materially the scale of its operation. Then financial statement are prepared on going concern basis. Correct? Understood? Have you understood this point? Correct? It means what? It means, Adam, note, if such intention or need, if such intention or need do not exist, then financial statement have to be prepared have to be prepared on different basis, on different basis. Correct? And the facts should be disclosed. Fact should be disclosed. Facts should be disclosed. Correct? So if such intention do not exist, then financial statement have to be prepared on some different basis. Already we have taken one question in last class. Already we have taken one question in last class where we have prepared what? SOPL and balance sheet on non-going concern basis by taking assets and liability at realizable value. Correct? Understood? This point. देखो, in this situation, financial statement are prepared on liquidation basis, that is at realizable value, at realizable value. Correct? I think you have understood this point, going concern. Then add on point number B, accrual basis. Accrual basis, now you all know what is accrual basis. Nothing to explain in this, but I'll give in writing. Write down. Under this, under this, the effects of transactions and events are are recognized when they occur when they occur and are recorded are recorded are recorded in the financial statement of the period of the period to which they relate, to which they relate. Correct? Understood? So I think this, nothing to explain this. I'm just giving rating because it is a part of AS1. So you need to refer this. Correct? In other words, write down. In other words, income are recognized. Recognized means recorded. Recognized when they are earned. When they are earned. In bracket write down whether received or not received. Whether received or receivable. Correct? Correct. Similarly, expenses are recognized when they are incurred. When they are incurred. Whether paid or payable. Whether paid or payable. Understood? So normally for income we use which word? Earned. Earned. And for expense we use the word incurred. So earned and incurred means when they occur. When they occur. Understood? So earned and incurred means when they occur. Understood this point? Correct? So accrual basis also you have understood. Nothing to explain in this. Then add on point number C. Consistency. Consistency. Correct? So in this add on, it is assumed that accounting policies accounting policies are consistent from one period to another. One period to another means financial statement of different accounting grade will be assumed that are prepared on consistent accounting policies. Correct? Means in last year if you have applied FIFO for inventory valuation, so in current year also it will be assumed that for inventory you have applied what? FIFO basis only. So it means consistently applied in financial statement from one period to another period. Correct? Understood? So these are what fundamental accounting assumption. Correct? Now one question arises: well, why only these three are considered as fundamental? Why only these three are considered as fundamental accounting assumption? Correct? So there are three fundamental accounting assumptions that you have understood: going concern, consistent, and what? Accrual. Now what is the meaning of fundamental? मेरी बात को समझना. What actually fundamental means? Fundamental means basics. Can I say basis on which what our financial statements should be prepared? Correct now. The basic assumption. These are basic assumptions. Correct. Can I say there are some basic points which are not supposed to be disclosed every time? Are you able to understand? Means it is presumed that that is always applied. Means unnecessary we should not waste our time for disclosing the basic point. Are you able to understand? For example, just try to understand when I came for the first time in your class. For the first time I introduced myself to you. Correct now? Just try to understand. For the first time, I introduced myself to you. So I said, I am Chiranjeev Jain. Why? Because many of you might not be knowing that I am Chiranjeev Jain. So that need to be disclosed to you. Correct now? Understood? Then I have also disclosed, just try to understand, I have also disclosed that I am chartered accountant. So it might happen you might not be knowing that I am chartered accountant. So I have disclosed that also. Then I have also disclosed that I will teach you accounting subject. So that also I have disclosed. So I have disclosed my name. I have disclosed my what my qualification. Then I have disclosed what subject I am going to teach. Correct now? Or I might have also disclosed many other point which you are not knowing. But can I say at that point of time I have never disclosed that I am male. I have not disclosed that point that I am male because that is a basic point that is understandable. करेक्ट ना? आपने जैसे मुझे देखा तो आपने एक अनुमान लगा लिया कि आई एम मेल ओनली ना. whether I will disclose in that moment कि I am male, तो can I say it is a wastage of time. It is always assume that of course sir is male only. करेक्ट ना? Are you able to understand? ज्यादा मुस्कुराओ मत. आप समझ रहे हो मेरी बात को? Have you understood this point? So there are certain points which we should not disclose every time because these are fundamental. And now you are disclosing that financial statement are prepared on this basis every year. So this is what a wastage of time. So fundamental accounting assumptions are assumed to be applied even though not disclosed. Even though not disclosed. Understood what I am saying? Means just try to understand कि disclosure of fundamental accounting assumption is not required. Means if you are following going concern, if you are following consistency, if you are following what, if you are following what accrual, then these are not supposed to be disclosed in the financial statement every year. But if you are not following it, if you are not following going concern, if you are not following accrual, if you are not following consistency, then a separate disclosure of the fact is required. Required. Are you able to understand? So if you are following, no disclosure required. If you are not following, then the fact should be disclosed. That fact should be disclosed. Means one more clarification I want to give you. My question to first, let me ask you one question. The question is that just try to understand what I am saying. Everyone, मेरी बात को समझेंगे कि my question is that whether these fundamental accounting assumptions are mandatory. बोलो yes or no. Whether these fundamental accounting assumptions are mandatory, yes or no. Fast बोलो. Whether these fundamental accounting assumptions are mandatory. So someone is saying yes sir, someone is saying no sir. Means I think that some of you have understood, some of you have not understood. Means those who are listening, they have understood because already I have given the answer. I have already given the answer, but you are not able to apply whatever I am saying. So please concentrate whatever I am saying. I have already said key financial statement if they are prepared on the basis of going concern, accrual and consistency, then no disclosure is required. But if you are not following this going concern, accrual and consistency in our financial statement, then a disclosure is required. Means can I say the application of this going concern etc. is not mandatory. We can prepare a financial statement without following it also. A disclosure is required. Correct. Means I can prepare my financial statement on cash basis. Correct now. I can prepare my financial statement on cash basis only and disclose that I am preparing my financial statement on cash basis. Understood this point? Correct. Have you understood this point? Correct. Means just write down some note. Note write down. Write down some note. Point number A. Fundamental accounting assumptions. FA means fundamental accounting assumptions are not mandatory. Point number B. if fundamental accounting assumption is followed for preparation and presentation of financial statement, then separate disclosure are not required. Point number C, if fundamental accounting assumptions are not followed, then then separate 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 disclosures are required. Where we disclose? In notes to account. In notes to account. Understood this point? Correct. Understood? This point you understood means there are three fundamental accounting assumptions. Just try to understand. One is going concern, one is accrual, one is consistency. Correct? Correct. Now, there are three form of organization: company, partnership firm, and sole proprietor. Correct now? Are you getting sole proprietor? Correct. So they will prepare the financial statement. Now for company, partnership firm and sole proprietor, just try to understand. Can I say this going concern is not mandatory for all these? Consistency is also not mandatory. Means can I say कि company, proprietorship, partnership firm can prepare the financial statement on non-going concern basis also. And if they are preparing the financial statement on non-going concern basis, they need to disclose the fact. Correct now? Means when they have intention to liquidate, then the financial statement will be prepared on liquidation basis. That already we have done. आप मेरी बात समझे? Correct. Consistency means, can I say, if last year, everyone just try to understand, last year if this company etc we are following FIFO for inventory valuation, now in current year they may also follow what weighted average price method. Means they can change their accounting policy, and if they are changing the accounting policy, fact need to be disclosed that we have changed our accounting policies. Correct? Means last year FIFO tha, in current year they have applied weighted average, they can do that. They can do that, but a disclosure need to be given. Disclosure need to be given. Correct? Understood? But for accrual, just try to understand. For partnership firm and proprietor, accrual concept is not mandatory. Correct? Means partnership and proprietorship can prepare their financial statement on cash basis. When I am saying cash basis means what? When the income will be recorded when cash is received, expense will be recorded when cash is paid. Means there is no outstanding or accrual accounting on that part. आप समझे? For example, I am a sole proprietor, so my financial statement is prepared on cash basis only. I don't do accrual accounting. बहुत झमेला है. So to simplify it, I am following cash basis. पैसा मिला आपसे, so that is my income. पैसा नहीं मिला, so that is not my income. Are you able to understand what I am saying? But I need to disclose the fact that I am nalayak and I am following what cash basis. Correct ना? तो disclosure देना पड़ेगा. But for company, accrual concept is mandatory. So for company, accrual concept is mandatory due to Companies Act. Due to Companies Act means now Companies Act will override the requirement of law. Sorry, Companies Act will override the requirement of accounting standard. Means Companies Act will prevail over accounting standard. This point you understood. Now Companies Act says कि companies books of account will be always prepared on accrual basis. Now can we follow cash basis and write a note that we are following cash? No, no. For company always accrual concept is mandatory. This point have you understood? Yes, sir. I think you have understood what I want to say. Correct? Have you understood this point? Yes, sir. This point also you have understood. Correct? This point have you understood? I will take 2 minute break. 2 minute break. So this much you have understood. Can we start the next point? To write down now point number 3. Point number 3. Point number 3. Selection of accounting policies. Selection of accounting policies. Correct. Now, how to select our accounting policy means it might happen that our accounting standard has prescribed different accounting policy. So, which accounting policy need to be selected in what circumstances? That we need to understand. So, what they have given for this, they have given first primary consideration. Write down primary consideration. Primary consideration. So what they say for selecting accounting policy, the primary consideration is that our financial statements should represent true and fair view. Correct now. Financial statements to represent true and fair view of what? Of financial position and financial performance. Financial performance. Understood this point? So write down primary consideration means what? The financial statement should represent true and fair view of the state of the financial position and profit or loss for relevant accounting period. Accounting period means whatever accounting policy you are selecting, that must give true and fair view. The primary consideration has been given to what? True and fair view. True and fair view. Understood? True and fair view. That is what our selection of accounting policy is based on. True and fair view. Correct? For example, I'm just giving one example. Just try to understand. Correct? Our accounting standards says that AS10 says that property, plant and equipment should be should be carried at carried at either at cost price or at fair value. carried out by applying इसको काट दो by applying point number A cost model or revaluation model. We'll do AS10, don't worry. Cost model or revaluation model means an option has been given. Either you can carry, either you can record your property, plant and equipment at cost price or fair value. Means this is what at cost price. Detailed discussion will do where under AS10, correct? Understood? And this is what at fair value. At fair value, correct? Are you getting? So this option has been given. Why the option has been given that I will discuss under AS10. But from my point of view, just try to understand. You purchase a on land in the year. You purchase a land in the year 1981 at rupees 1 lakh. So this become the cost price. Now in the year in the year the fair value sorry in the year 2020 fair value of land is 1 crore is 1 crore, correct? Now just try to understand, if I am following cost model, then land will appear in balance sheet at what price? 1 lakh. I have taken the example land because I want to ignore depreciation right now. Correct? Isliye land ले लिया. I think you all know that land will not be depreciated. Correct? Understood this point? And if I am applying revaluation model, so land will appear at 1 crore. My question to you all, what is true and fair view? 1 lakh ki 1 crore. What is true and fair view? 1 lakh ki 1 crore. You only say. 1 lakh ki 1 crore. So what is the true and fair view? If I record land at 1 lakh, that will give true and fair view. If I record land at 1 crore, that will give true and fair view. You only say. Everyone, fast. I'm waiting for your reply fast. So everyone is saying 1 crore, 1 crore, correct now. So it means our financial statement should be prepared by taking 1 crore into consideration. That is the selection of accounting policy. That is the selection of accounting policies. Means AS10 has given two model, cost model and revaluation model. So we should opt for our revaluation model and our financial statement should be based on revaluation model. But they have given option, they have not make it mandatory. Why the option has been given, we'll discuss under AS10. ये बात समझे? Means I have just given one example. What is the meaning of true and fair view? Understood this point? Yes, sir. Correct. So I think this you understood. Primary consideration you understood. Now come to what? Major consideration. Major consideration. Major consideration. In this there are three major consideration they have given. Point number one, prudence. Prudence. Prudence is nothing but I can write down conservative. Yeah, conservatism. Correct. So I think you all know prudence. You all know conservatism. Correct now. So I'm just giving a mini explanation is not required. Write down. Due to uncertainty attached attached to future event. Correct? Future event. Income and gains are not anticipated, are not anticipated, but are recognized only when realized, only when realized. Correct? Second, provision are made for for all probable expenses and losses arising from past events, even if even if the actual amount is not known, even if actual amount is not known. The provision are made means provision are recognized, provision are recognized. Correct? For all probable expenses and losses arising from past event, even if actual amount is not known. Correct? So this is what prudence concept. Prudence concept, I think best example already we have done. Example, inventory. Inventory. Correct? Case 1, cost price is equal to 100 and net realizable value means it can be sold in future at rupees 120. So it means if it is sold at 120, there is a profit of 20. Can we recognize this profit right now even though it is not sold? No. So we cannot recognize a profit of 20 rupees right now because it is not realized. Realized means it is not yet sold. Therefore, valuation means you will value inventory at lower of these two at 100. This is cost price or NRB, whichever is lower. Correct? Understood? Case number 2, cost price is equal to 100 and NRB is rupees 80, means it is expected to be sold at rupees 80. Correct now? Are you getting? It is expected to be sold at rupees 80. So can I say there is a probable loss of 20? There is a probable loss of 20. Therefore, we will value inventory inventory at rupees 80 only and recognize recognize can I say an expected loss of rupees 20, expected loss of rupees 20 in profit and loss, in profit and loss. I think you have understood this point. Bull, have you understood this point? Any doubt? No doubt. So you understood what prudence? Correct. Then come to point number 1. I think no doubt in point number 1 I've just given an example. If for inventory valuation we are applying prudence concept, there are many other examples also. When we'll do accounting standard, the various accounting standard, automatically that examples will come into play. Correct? Understood? Detailed discussion about this provision. इस provision का detailed discussion will do. Right on, refer AS 29. जब हम AS 29 करेंगे तो विल डू डिटेल डिस्कशन ऑफ दिस, डिटेल डिस्कशन ऑफ दिस. हैव यू अंडरस्टूड दिस पॉइंट? बोलो. करेक्ट? Understood? AS 29 will be in group 2. AS 29 will be in group 2. I'm not going to detail discussion right now. In what corresponding AS, automatically the other point will come. इतना समझे? Then add on. Point number 2. Substance over form. Substance over form means now for selecting accounting policy, can I say we need to give importance to substance over form. Now already we have done one chapter we have done hire purchase, which was totally based on a substance over form. Correct? Now means even though legal ownership of the asset was not transferred to hire purchaser, even though legal ownership of the asset transferred was not transferred to hire purchaser, then also they were controlling the asset. So because they were controlling the asset was shown in the books of hire purchaser, even though they are not legal owner. Correct? Now so already we have done entire one chapter based on substance over form, so I think detailed discussion is not required. Correct? Freedom. It means what? The accounting treatment, the accounting treatment accounting treatment should be governed by substance. Substance means actual happening, and a reality. The dictionary meaning, correct, of the transactions, of the transaction, and not by following legal documents, correct? Understood this point? Have you understood this point? I am giving that example only. Write down. Assets purchased on hire purchase are recorded in the books of hire purchaser even if legal ownership is not transferred. Understood this point? This point you understood? Correct? Point number 3. I think this also you have understood substance of a form, nothing more. However, in different accounting standard, we'll take more examples of substance over form. Correct? Understood? Then third is what? Materiality. Now, while selecting accounting policy, we should give importance to material transactions. Correct? Now, material transactions means for immaterial transaction, we should not apply accounting standard. We are wasting 1 second our time. Means can I say immaterial transactions are not so much significant which may affect the decision of the user. Are you able to understand? Just try to understand what I am saying. Suppose there is a loss of acid due to fire. Loss of acid due to fire. Correct now. Loss of acid due to fire. Loss of acid due to fire. And the amount of loss is what 1000. Amount of loss is 1000. Correct. Are you getting what I am saying? And the sales of this company is 1000 crore. 1000 crore. Correct now. So for this entity, can I say this amount is immaterial? This amount is immaterial. Correct now. Now following accounting policies, following accounting standard on this amount is mere wastage of time. Therefore, AS are not applied on immaterial item because even though you are not applying accounting standard on this will not affect the user. This will not affect the decision of the user. Correct. So will not waste our time in applying accounting policies on immaterial item. Correct. Therefore accounting policies should be applied only to what? Material item. Only to material item. Are you getting what I am saying? Now this material item is very much subjective. Means what is material to me might be immaterial to you. Are you getting? What is material to me might be immaterial to you. For example, if I say the sales of this organization is 1 lakh only, so can I say now this loss become what? Material. This loss become material for me. So if there is a loss of 10 rupees, that become material to me. Correct ना? मेरे लिए तो 10 रुपया का लॉस भी बहुत material है. आपके लिए 1000 का लॉस भी immaterial हो सकता है. Are you able to understand what I am saying? Yes. बोल. Yes. Correct. So this material term is subjective, which will vary from business to business, which will vary from entity to entity. Correct. Understood? This point have you understood? Correct. But what I am saying it will depend upon entity to entity. But can I say accounting standards should be applied only to material item. We should not waste our time for what? Immaterial item. Means I'm not saying that this will not be recorded. This will be recorded. This loss will be recorded. Nothing. Just try to understand. This loss will be recorded. This loss will be recorded. But can I say disclosure of such loss is not required? Why to disclose this such loss? Means this loss can be, suppose this is immaterial. So I'm not saying will not record. Record to karna hai. Every transaction need to be recorded. Every transaction is need to be recorded. Means this materiality concept is not for recording. This materiality concept is for disclosure. So can I say disclosure of such loss is not required. So this loss can be clubbed with other expenses and there is no need of separate disclosure. But if there is a loss of what? Loss of 10 lakh. So this loss become material. Now proper disclosure of such loss is required to understand the performance of that entity. To understand the performance of that entity. Correct. One best example I am just giving. One more example I am giving. Just try to understand. In balance sheet you write down asset. In balance sheet you write down asset. Correct ना. यहाँ लिखते हैं plant. यहाँ लिखते हैं machine. Correct. Now we write down plant and machinery. What is the difference between plant and machinery? Plant which produce some goods. Plant and machinery means or plant, whenever we use the word plant, the plant is used for production activities, means plant से कोई finished goods produce होता है. Correct. Machinery is not for production purpose. It will support what? Our activities. It will support our activities. For example, just try to understand. If I am saying that I have a mic, so this mic can be a machinery for me. This mic may be machinery for me. Are you getting what I am saying? So we use the word plant and machinery. Plant and machinery. The plant is normally for production and machinery is not for production activities. Understood? Now just try to understand. Can I say if I purchase a plant and machinery of 100 lakh, so of course this become a material item and should be disclosed properly in our balance sheet after proper depreciation etc. हम उसको अलग से दिखाते हैं. But if I am purchasing a calculator, but the calculator is also a small machinery or not? Calculator is also a small machine, but its calculator cost कितना हुआ? 300. Correct. Now this also meet the definition. Calculator is not used for 1 year. It is used for more than 1 year only. Correct ना? आप मेरी बात समझ पा रहे हो? calculator is used for more than 1 year, so if you apply the definition of PP, so it will come at a definition of what? Property, plant and equipment only, correct? It is an equipment which is used for more than 1 year. आप मेरी बात समझ पा रहे हो? तो calculator is also a machine, but we never disclose this calculator in our balance sheet. We never disclose this calculator in our balance sheet. Why? Because this is immaterial and we'll charge this calculator to profit and loss account as an expense in the year of purchase by applying which concept? By applying materiality concept. By applying materiality concept. जो stationery लिखते हैं ना, you write down printing and stationery. तो stationery are nothing but this. So stationery may be used for more than 1 year. Stationery may be used for more than 1 year, but we write off in the year of purchase because of which concept? Because of materiality concept. Means we are not applying any accounting policies on such immaterial item. I think you have understood. Bolo. Have you understood this point? Materiality. Correct. Bolo. Write down. In this, I think you have understood. Clear हुआ? Financial statement should disclose all material item that is the item the knowledge of which might influence the decision of user of financial statement. Correct? The word is disclose. One thing, once again I am saying कि financial statement, while preparing financial statement, all transactions should be recorded, whether material or immaterial. Correct now? From my point of view, whenever I teach in CA Inter, so some of the students says कि the material items should be recorded, immaterial items should not be recorded. ये गलत है, एकदम से हम पता नहीं CA फाउंडेशन से पढ़ के आ जाते हैं. How many of you were knowing that for materiality recording was the point? कितने जन बताओ? How many of you have done in CA Foundation? In CA Foundation, you have done materiality from disclosure point of view or recording point of view? Mention, everyone mention. किसने किसने recording किया है, किसने किसने disclose किया है? बोलो. In CA Foundation. Means in CA Foundation, you are knowing that material items should not be, immaterial items should not be recorded. Respond fast. Pratham is saying recording. आगे आगे चलो. और किसने किसने क्या क्या पढ़ा? श्रद्धा is saying recording. आगे चलो. Others? बोलो. Why others are not responding? They have done this concept in CA Foundation or not? Please respond fast. Dheeraj is saying disclose. Others? Disclose, disclose, disclose. चलो ठीक है, ओके नाउ। तो आई थिंक नाउ इट इज ऑल क्लियर that this point is disclosure, correct? So all transactions should be recorded, but we should disclose properly only material items. So while selecting accounting policy, we should give importance to material item, correct? Understood? Correct? Madam, the terms materiality is subjective, subjective, therefore judgment should be applied on item whether it is material, whether it is material or not. So it means while selecting accounting policy, we need to apply our own judgment whether this item is material or not. So how to apply that judgment if the disclosure of that item might influence the decision of the user, it means it become material. It means it become material. Correct? Understood? Judgment means common sense. You need to apply common sense. Correct? Common sense. This point also you understood? Correct. Materiality also you have understood. To you have understood what? Selection of accounting policy. Now write down last point of this AS. Point number 4. Point number 4. Disclosure of accounting policies. Disclosures of accounting policies. Correct? Point number 1. Point number A. That on all significant accounting policies adopted in preparation and presentation of financial statement should be disclosed. Should be disclosed. ठीक है, तो all accounting policies should be disclosed. All accounting policies should be disclosed. So we have done one accounting policy for inventory. So we should write down that inventory should be inventories are valued at cost price NRV whichever is lower. Correct? Understood? This point. Point number 2. Yeah, point number B. Correct? Understood? So point number 2 में लिखो the disclosure of accounting policies should form part of financial statement and should be disclosed at one place. At one place. So what is that one place? Notes to account. That is notes forming part of financial statement. Therefore, we say notes are part of financial statement. That is not a separate statement, it is a part of financial statement. Without note, financial statement is incomplete. Incomplete. Correct? Now you have understood notes. हमने पूरा financial statement of companies कर लिया. There we have prepared many notes to account. There we have done disclosures also. So all the disclosures we have given where in notes to account. Correct? Forming part of financial statement. Correct? This point. Then next point number C. Any changes in accounting policies. Any changes in accounting policies. AP means accounting policy, which has material effect. Material effect in the current period or in later period should be disclosed. Should be disclosed. So any changes in accounting policy which has material effect either in current period or in future period, even though effect is coming in future period, the facts should be disclosed in the year of change. In the year of change. So should be disclosed in the year of change. In the year of change. Correct? Correct? This point. देखो. However, however, if changes in accounting policy have material effect in the current period. In the current period, the amount by which any item is affected, any item is affected should also be disclosed. Should also be disclosed. Correct? If the amount is not determinable, if the amount is not determinable, the facts should be indicated. Facts should be indicated. facts should be indicated. So if the amount is not determinable, the facts should be indicated that what key why, because the amount is not determinable, but we need to disclose the fact that we have changed the accounting policy which will affect our financial statement. Correct? Understood? This point means, in other words, in other words, following disclosure following disclosures are required for changes in accounting policies. Changes in accounting policies. Correct? Point number A, old accounting policies. कि what was your old accounting policies? वो disclose करो. Then point number B, new accounting policies. Which accounting policy now you are adopting, that you disclose. Correct? Then point number C, reason of changes in accounting policies. Reason of changes in accounting policies need to be disclosed. Correct? Then effect of such change. Effect of such change in financial statement, if determinable, should be disclosed. If determinable. So if not determinable, the facts will be disclosed. Correct? That you understood? The amount by which the financial statement will be affected means, suppose we have changed our inventory valuation from FIFO to weighted average. So because of that change, my profit might increase or decrease. So by what amount the profit has increased or decreased, that need to be also disclosed. Correct? Understood? Understood. Now, one question arises, sir, we can change our accounting policy, but under what circumstances? I think this point you have done. Ki when we can change our accounting policies, correct? The reason of change in accounting policies, so write down as per AS 5, as per accounting standard 5, means the circumstances under which we can change our accounting policies is given under AS 5. Is given under AS 5. I think you have done in CA foundation also that, but that is given under AS 5. So that point I am saying, that is not given under AS 1. Correct? So as per AS 5, under following circumstances, following circumstances circumstances accounting policies can be changed. Can be changed. Point number A. बताओ. First is what? For compliance of law or act. Correct? For compliance of accounting standard. Correct? For better, yeah, for providing relevant and more reliable information, for providing relevant and more reliable information. तो अंडर दिस सर्कमस्टांसेस ओनली वी कैन चेंज, मींस मन में आया तो चेंज नहीं कर सकते हैं, ओनली अंडर दिस सर्कमस्टांसेस वी कैन चेंज द अकाउंटिंग पॉलिसीज. करेक्ट, अंडरस्टूड दिस पॉइंट? This point you understood? Yes, sir. Then at point number D. Point number D already I mentioned you that on if fundamental accounting assumption, fundamental accounting assumptions are not followed, not followed, fact should be disclosed. Fact should be disclosed. This point understood? Correct? Write down the last note of this chapter. Correct? Disclosure, disclosure of accounting policy disclosure of accounting policies cannot remedy cannot remedy a wrong or inappropriate accounting treatment. Accounting treatment, correct? Inappropriate accounting treatment. This is a very important point. The disclosure of accounting policy is not a remedy, against wrong and inappropriate accounting treatment. For example, suppose we are not following our accounting standard. Let us take one example of investment, because investment we have done, correct? तो we have already done investment. AS13 हमने किया है, वहां पे क्या बोला कि current investment should be valued at what? Cost price or fair value, whichever is lower, correct? And long term investment is valued at what? Cost price, correct? Are you getting what I am saying? Just try to understand. Suppose you purchase an investment of rupees 1000, correct? And now the fair value is 2000. So the cost price is what? 1000 and fair value is what? 2000, correct? So can I say as per AS13 we should record at 1000, correct? If you are recording at rupees 1000, so we are not recognizing a profit of rupees 1000. This profit is unrealized gain. This profit is unrealized gain, so it should not be recognized. This profit is unrealized. Bolo yes or no? This profit is unrealized. Are you getting what I am saying? Correct? Everyone. Now, before giving an explanation, I would like to ask one question. बताओ, will always try to record higher profit or lower profit? मुझे बताओ. Will always try to record higher profit or lower profit? Everyone, respond fast. Correct. सबको इसमें doubt होता है कि we should record higher profit or lower profit. बताओ. Everyone, respond. Everyone is saying lower profit. Everyone is saying lower profit, but this is 100% wrong. We'll always record higher profit. Just try to understand, everyone, कि if you have recorded lower profit, whether any investor will be attracted with this. Just try to understand, when you are saying lower, you are thinking from income tax point of view. Income tax, I'm not teaching you income tax act. मैं क्या income tax act पढ़ा रहा हूँ? Now, income tax, because you have already started, you know that income tax we pay on taxable profit, not on book profit. So when I'm teaching you accounts, I'm talking about, I'm discussing about taxable profit or book profit. Book profit means what you record in SOPL. What you record in SOPL. So can I say when I am saying SOPL, SOPL means book profit. When I am saying taxable income is as per Income Tax Act. As per Income Tax Act. So I am not teaching you income tax. If your income tax teacher asks you about taxable profit, we'll always try to decrease our profit, because if we'll decrease our profit, we'll pay lower tax. But taxable profit and the profit whatever I am discussing, both are different. Both are different. So can I say from SOPL point of view, from the performance point of view, always will try to increase our profit. Always will try to disclose higher profit, not lower profit. Have you understood this point? Respond fast. Respond fast. Have you understood this point? So there is a misconception in the mind of every student. However, if you ask this question to any of your friend, they will also say lower profit, because उनको पूरा knowledge नहीं दिया गया है. Correct now. So when I am saying accounting, accounting may always used to think about maximization of profit. When you are in income tax act with your DT profit, your objective is to what? Minimization of taxable profit. Minimization of taxable profit. Correct? Understood. बताओ यहाँ पर if I want to do fraud, just try to understand. If I want to manipulate our account, I will disclose the investment at rupees 1000 to 2000. Batao. If I want to manipulate the account, wrong accounting treatment. If I want to increase the profit, I will not disclose at 1000, I will disclose at 2000. So if investment are disclosed are recorded at 2000, it means we are recording a profit of rupees 1000. So we increase our profit by rupees 1000. Correct. So correct, this is wrong accounting treatment. This is wrong accounting treatment. But what I will do, I will write down one note. I will disclose one point. Ki we are disclosing investment. We are recording investment at fair value. Means at cost price of fair value, whichever is higher. So can I say this is what disclosure of accounting policy of wrong accounting treatment. So disclosure of accounting policy cannot be a remedy of wrong accounting treatment. Means if you are disclosing wrong accounting treatment, it is a fraud only. It is a fraud means आप बचोगे नहीं, आप बचोगे नहीं. So if you are disclosing your wrong accounting if you are disclosing your wrong accounting treatment, this is not disclosure of accounting policies. Correct? Means you disclose as per accounting standard only, whatever accounting standard has mentioned. This point have you understood, Bolo? Have you understood this point? ये पॉइंट समझे? Have you understood this point? So I think everyone understood this point कि disclosure of accounting policy cannot cannot remedy a wrong or inappropriate accounting treatment. Till now, no question have been asked from this point, but from my point of view, this is one expected question. They can frame a question on this para only. Correct? Understood? Yes, sir. So with this we completed AS1. With this we complete AS1. Correct. So you can see I am doing a detailed discussion of this. Other teacher will do this AS1 only in 50 minutes. But I have taken almost what 1.5 hour. 1.5 hour. So it means I'll give you the proper understanding of each and every concept. Correct. Understood? Chalo. Now coming to the some questions. Coming to some questions. Questions में आते हैं. So this PDF is with you. This is one of the favorite question of institute. Normally they ask this type of questions, correct? Understood? In the books of Messrs Prasant Limited, closing inventory as on 31st March 2015 amount to rupees 1,63,000. Correct? On the basis of FIFO method. On the basis of FIFO method. The company decided to change from FIFO method to weighted average method for ascertaining the cost of inventory from year 2014-15. Means from the 14-15 now they want to change from FIFO to weighted average price method. On the basis of weighted average method, closing inventory will now become 1,47,000. So it means if FIFO tha 1,63,000, now if weighted average it become 1,47,000. Means our closing stock will decrease. If the closing stock is decreased, our profit will also decrease. So can I say profit will decrease by how much? 1,63,000 minus 1,47,000 means by 16,000 profit will decrease. So this is the effect in financial statement, correct? Realizable value of inventory is 1,95,000. So that is not relevant because we disclose that cost price on NRV whichever is lower, correct? Understood? So NRV is more than what cost price? More than cost price. Discuss disclosure requirement of change in accounting policy as per AS1. This type of questions are dangerous because you need to write down properly. Write down properly. So how to write down? Just let us understand. As per AS1, para number is not important from examination point of view because it is not easy to remember para number. Correct ना? Are you getting para number याद नहीं रख सकते हो तो उसको छोड़ दो. इन एग्जाम में लिखोगे as per AS1 disclosure of accounting policy. Disclosure of accounting policy. Correct. तो whatever I have given means ये पूरा पैरा आपको लिखना है. This para you need to write down. यहाँ तक ये आपको लिखना है. यहाँ तक क्या लिखा हुआ है? Any changes in accounting policy which has material effect either in current period or in later period should be disclosed in the year of change. However, if the changes in accounting policy has material effect in the current period, the amount by which any item is affected should be also disclosed. However, if the amount is not determinable, the fact should be disclosed. ये पूरा पैरा आपको लिखना है. चेक करेंगे whether they have written this para or not. Any changes in accounting policy which has material effects to be disclosed in the financial statement. The amount by which any item of financial statement is affected by such change to be also disclosed to the extent ascertainable. Where such amount is not ascertainable wholly or in part, the facts will be indicated. So same thing is written. So first you write down this para. Pura exactly, but you can write down in your own words. You can write down in your own words. Correct? Understood? Thus, Prasant Limited should disclose the changes in valuation method of inventory and the effect on financial statement. The company may disclose the change in accounting policy in the following manner. तो मैंने आपको बोला चार बातों का ध्यान रखना है. First is what you need to disclose the old accounting policy. Second, you should disclose new accounting policy. Third, you need to disclose reason for the effect means amount. Amount will be that it will decrease the profit by 16,000. इस बात को समझे? Correct. Now reason, if nothing is given, always you will mention that we have changed because it will give more relevant and reliable information. ये बात आप लिख सकते हो. Correct? Understood? So what is given check करेंगे. Correct. The company value the inventory at lower of cost NRV. See the NRV was greater than cost. The company value the inventory at cost. Correct. This is the accounting policy. First you have disclosed that key inventory should be valued at cost price or NRV whichever is lower. Correct. Understood. In the present case, in current year, the company has changed to weighted average method, which better reflect the consumption pattern of inventory. Correct. Which better reflect the consumption pattern of inventory. Correct. Consumption pattern of inventory means it is giving more reliable and relevant information. So you can write down this word also, which gives more relevant and reliable information. Correct. For ascertaining the inventory cost from earlier practice of using FIFO for the purpose. The change in policy has reduced current profit and value inventory by the change in policy has reduced current profit and value of inventory by rupees 16,000. So this information need to be disclosed. So how to disclose you understood? Have you understood this point? This is one of the expected question. Expected question in exam. Expected. Correct? Have you understood this point? Correct? बोलो. Correct? Now, one more question I am doing. ABC Limited was making provision for moving inventory based on issue for last 12 months. ठीक है? Non-moving inventory means the slow moving item which cannot be sold easily because it become obsolete, etc. So non-moving inventory means it is an obsolete item. Obsolete item. So obsolete item means, of course, we should write down the inventory to its NRV. We need to write down its inventory to its NRV. The company want to provide during the year ending 31st March 2007 based on technical evaluation. Total value of inventory is 100 lakh. Provision required based on 12-month issue is 3.5 lakh. Provision required based on technical evaluation 2.5 lakh. Means previously they used to follow what? They used to follow, means you can say ABC Limited was making a provision for non-moving inventory based on issue for the last 12 months. Means based on last 12 month वो provision create करते थे. But now they want to make provision based on technical evaluation. So it means this is changes in accounting. What? Policy? Bolo. Have you understood what I am saying? This is changes in accounting policy? No, this is not changes in accounting policy. Does this amount to changes in accounting policy? No, this is not changes in accounting policy. Why? Because this is only a estimation change. इसको हम बोलते हैं changes in accounting estimate. So whenever you are making a changes in accounting estimate, so that is not changes in accounting policies. Understood this point? Correct? So what they have written, check करेंगे. The decision of making, everyone, the decision of making provision for non-moving inventory on the basis of technical evaluation does not amount to changes in accounting policy. So this is not a changes in accounting policy, because when I am saying changes in accounting policy, so accounting policy means changes in accounting principle or method. But can I say this is nothing but a, a point of estimation only, how you are estimating the amount of provision, so changes in accounting estimate is not changes in accounting policies. Understood this point? Okay. Accounting policy of company may require that provision for non-moving inventory should be made. The method of estimating the amount of provision may change in case of more prudent estimate can be made. Correct? In the given case, considering the total value of inventory, the change in the amount required, the change in the amount of required provision of a non-moving inventory from this amount to this amount is not material. The disclosure can be made for such changes in the following lines by way of notes for the account in the annual income of this. Correct? The company has provided for non-moving inventory on the basis of technical evaluation, unlike preceding year. Had the same method been followed had the same method been followed as in the previous year, the profit for the year and the corresponding effect on the year and the net asset would have been lower by rupees 1 lakh. Correct? So it means first, this is not changes in accounting policies. So sir, why we are disclosing changes in accounting estimate? Correct. So लिखो changes in accounting estimate is disclosed as per AS5 as per AS5. तो changes in accounting policy is disclosed as per AS5. तो accounting estimate में जो changes होता है उसको हम disclose करते हैं AS5. But AS5 has now been shifted to group 2. Correct now? तो I think this type of question should not be asked. ये question नहीं पूछना चाहिए because this has a relevance of AS5 also. यहाँ पर AS5 का relevance आ गया है. But I'm not taking a risk because in institute book this type of question has been given, तो मैंने भी इस क्वेश्चन को यहाँ पे incorporate कर दिया. But now have you understood? Any changes in accounting estimate will not be a changes in accounting policy. Correct? Are you getting what I am saying? इस point को समझे.